Hi everyone, it's Rachel. So I have this sketch I've been working on and I really like how it's looking so far. So now it's time to ink her. Okay, so I still like how she's turning out, but the line art is a little blah. What if I told you that this line art could look even better with not that much more effort? It's true, and I'm about to tell you how. Can you tell me what's different about these two drawings? I inked them from the same sketch, so they should be the same, right? Nope, the one on the right is more dynamic than the one on the left. But why? I apologize to anyone who already knows this, but it was a huge change for the better in my artwork that took me longer than I'd like to admit to pick up on. What I did different is vary my line art. Notice how the lines are thicker in some places and thinner in others? That's all it takes. Here, I'll demonstrate. So here we have another sketch. Now the first step is something you already know how to do, and that's trace the sketch in a new layer. I'm using the Studio Pen brush in Procreate. It's a default brush, but I like how it works. It smooths my strokes out automatically, which I highly recommend using a brush that does that, or figuring out how to turn the stabilizers on in whichever program you're using. Unless you have a freakishly stable hand, in which case I envy you. For traditional artists, you don't have to worry about this so much since a pen doesn't pick up the tiniest jitters like a digital medium does. For both digital and traditional artists, use a brush or pen that is pretty thin, but not microscopically tiny. You want the strokes to be about as thin as the thinnest parts of your final piece. Anyway, now you just ink as usual. I'm going to speed this part up since you already know how to do this. Okay, now that we've done the first step in the inking process, now comes the fun part. The thickening of some of these lines. What I mean is we're going to give some variation by tracing over our lines again, only this time you make sure some parts are thicker than others. You're going to want to mostly focus on any curves and make those parts the thickest, but be careful to keep everything even. And like eyeliner, don't make it too thick unless that's the style you're going for. I personally like thick line art, but it's important to keep it balanced. Above all, just play around with this. Find what worked for your individual style. And remember, this is just how I do things. Art is about experimentation after all, and finding what works for you. Lately, I've been combining these two steps into the same step and thickening the lines as I go. So if you feel comfortable doing that, go ahead and try it. Anyway, I'm going to finish inking this girl and show you what she looks like at the end. And there we have it, the finished line art. I really like how it turned out. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Until next time, this is Rachel from Rachel Art signing off.